Ladies, what is the most obvious hint you dropped that went unnoticed by a guy? On the first date I went on with my husband, we were sitting next to each other, really close. I looked up at him and moved close to his face, and he said, "Can I help you?" I did this to my wife all the time just to annoy her. She pays me back by having perpetual cold feet and hands and uses me as a way to warm them up. Went in for a kiss and he hugged me instead and then patted my head. We've been dating for a year now. I tease him a lot about it. A girl could be shoving her tongue down my throat and I'd be unsure if she liked me or not. Again, you just can't be sure. Maybe she's just Canadian. Just being friendly. French Canadian if she's using tongue, I would say. After weeks of him staying out late, he was friends with roommates, so we just hang out with the two of us. I gathered up my liquid courage and sat in his lap and kissed him. We did that for a while, but when I was like, "Let's go to my room," he asked me why. And like with a complete poker face. So I panicked and was like, to finish the movie. The movie had ended. We both stared at the credits and then there was like, "Well, it's late. Can I kiss you one more time before I go?" Jesus Christ, he was thick. To be honest, before I ever got laid, I was not used to girls liking me, so when one day this girl came over and was kissing me, I legit didn't know if I should make a move because I thought she'll be scared. It can happen. My usual inner monologue. Maybe she's just being nice. Maybe this is how she treats everyone. Me in the middle of sex. Maybe she's just one of those people that's naturally flirty. I literally whispered, "Screw me," in a seductive manner, and he responded with, "What's wrong?" He thought I was saying screw me in a negative way. I asked the boy I was dating if he wanted to be my boyfriend. He said yes. I thought that settled it. I find out a week later that he doesn't consider us boyfriend-girlfriend. Why? Because I asked him if he'd like to be my boyfriend and he answered the exact question. Apparently I was not clear on our status after. You didn't perform the proper rituals in order to bond you. Lewd things like holding hands. That's where babies come from. I told my now boyfriend that I was attracted to him. He assumed that I meant I thought he was aesthetically attractive, but not into him myself. Same boy also missed me while watching an entire football game with him at a pub, leaning on him the entire time despite me saying I have never watched football before and thought it was boring, and then walking home holding his hand as an indication of how much I liked him. The team he's probably supporting just lost the match. Not much you can cheer man from watching his whole team lose. I mean, if it was Liverpool last week, I've been out for a while. Hold my beer. Had this ridiculously attractive girl sit 2 seats down from me in a college writing class. Some kid sat between us. Our A girl proceeds to mean girl the crap out of this kid. Next class he sits somewhere else. She slides her books over to his seat, sits down next to me and says, "Hi, I'm your new partner. We didn't have partners in this class." After class she asks if she can email me a paper to critique. I give her my email address and she sends me her number. I text her and say, "Here's my number too, but I think you forgot to attach the paper." Never received the paper. Following the next class, she asks me to walk her to her car. It's 11 a.m. She claims to need to get something out of the back seat and then just sort of rummages around a clean back seat, bent at the waist. Calls back and she says, "I hope I'm enjoying the view." I sort of chuckled, oblivious. She goes out, looks at me and says, "I'm a little surprised you didn't grab my ass." Maybe next time. Following class, she literally takes my hand, places it in her ass, looks me dead in the eye and says, "Give it a squeeze." I've met predator drones less tenacious than her. What are you supposed to sexually assault her on the chance she likes it? F no, dude. Miss signal or not, you did the right thing in the car. I'm absolutely well aware of that. This was a few months ago and I just got out of the military after a long enough time of sexual harassment and assault are two things very much of my mind when interacting with women. I met a guy in New Orleans and after a lot of texting and talking, we wound up having a second date in California. I live in Colorado, he's in Florida. He had to run out do a few things and when he came back I was rolling a doobie in some lingerie out on deck of our hotel room. He just said, "Hey, you ready for dinner? Get dressed before we can go." Guy was hungry, not thirsty. He could have ate. See, there's your problem. Most people roll doobies in papers, not lingerie. Reading this thread makes me feel so much better about my obliviousness. Nice thing about me is that I'm so ugly that no one flirts with me. Ever. Or you're just so oblivious to it. I sent a tit pic once and the guy just LOL'd. Kinda makes a girl not want to do it that anymore. Did you put into some thought or was it just a close-up of a boob? Face was in the pic. He asked to see my bat tattoos. I thought it was a perfect excuse to send a full pic of a tit to win his attention. I wish I had the same thing. I was chatting to a friend online and I liked it. She was telling me about this new corset she bought and how revealing it was and how nice it looked. She then sent me a picture of her almost naked in a corset. I was like, yeah, it's a nice corset. Turns out she liked me too, duh. Apparently girls don't send almost naked pictures of themselves to people they're not into. As a guy, I once had a girl climb in my bed and cuddle, with me just thinking she must be cold. Now she's putting her hand in her pants to keep it warm. She's keep it warm. She's such a considerate friend. Oh, I get it, lady. I'll turn up the heat. Stop with the passive aggressive crap already. Here, I have some spare sweaters and blankets too. Not a lady, but a girl I eventually dated in high school asked me for a ride home. We get there, her parents are gone, we're hanging out in her room. She grabs my phone and puts it on her bra. When I ask for it, she tells me to go get it. I was just confused and more confused when 10 minutes later she threw at me and told me to leave. My first girlfriend did a similar thing. She put my phone, which is an iPhone SE, so it's able to fit in most pockets in her butt cheeks pocket and sat on it. Told me if I want it, I have to get it, and so I let her have it for the next 10 minutes until she gave up. The girl I was in love with all through middle school and high school also asked me for a ride home once junior year. When we got there she asked me, and when we got inside she asked, "Do you want to see my bed?" I was like, "No, that's okay." I didn't realize what was happening for another couple years. I didn't realize that coffee didn't mean coffee. From a guy's perspective, I was having casual drinks with a friend of mine. I thought we were 100% platonic. I normally walked her home, and at the end of the night I said something like, "Me, let's go back home and go to bed." Her, "That's a bit forward, but alright then." Me, "Hi, imagine if that actually worked on a girl." Her, "Yeah." Followed by an awkward silence. I was an idiot. That one hurts because you were the one spitting game. That happens all the time though. Dog chases car and has no idea when the car stops. That's a perfect analogy. If I've learned anything in my 30-something years alive, it's that if you want to sleep with a man, you basically have to come out and tell him because they do not take hints well. A lot of guys have been burned. I've misread signals too. I've been forward leaning too awkward. Whoa, what the heck? Lol, I was just making conversation. I've been flirted by women who just want to flirt for attention, not have sex with me, or even date me. Last and most important, most men are terrified of misreading someone and sexually assaulting a woman. If you say something, "Why don't you come over and we'll watch a movie together?" Lots of guys will think, "Now." She could mean sex, but the risk/ego, reputation, violating her rights are too great. Let's assume it's just a movie. Nothing can go wrong with that assumption. During the movie she says, I just haven't been screwed for so long." So my guy might just assume that means she wants to screw me. However, we're just friends, so this could just be something she wants to get off her chest. I don't want to be a creep. Also, this is a pretty compromising situation and things could look bad if I step over a line. Better not act. Let's see if this goes any further. I'm not oblivious to what you're saying Sai's doing. I'm just not willing to put my foot on the gas until I see nothing but green lights. Okay. All the lights are green. My blind spots are clear. Seatbelts buckled. Time to put on just a little gas. Tbone to intersection. Guy walked me home after our 6th date. I would really like to have sex with you, I say to him. He responds, thank you. I would also like to have sex with you too. He then proceeds to walk me outdoor. Thanks for the night with a hug. Then he then walks home. I wonder if he had like the worst oh crap realization later that night. No way, he can't be that dumb. I had a similar thing happen at a hotel bar once. A girl told me that it was a lot safer for me to spend the night with her than drive home. I told her it's a really short walk and I can get in my car in the morning. She was very disappointed, but the truth was I had a massive wet crap trying to explode out of my ass. I was barely containing it. This was not an experience I want to share in a hotel room with a woman I had just met. Yes, best to purge yourself out of the privacy without someone waiting for you. ITTT. Non-ladies who suddenly remember all the hints they lost and now are smacking their dick foreheads in shame and disbelief at being so dumb. Avoid this problem with one simple trick. Be so unappealing no woman would ever want you. But what if you only think you're unappealing, but the reality is girls fawn over you, but you're too thick to take the hint? How about we get some girls to answer guys? Girls, this is Reddit. I'm gonna go on a limb and say most guys are missing the signals. They just don't want to take it the wrong way. They don't want to be the guy who jumped to conclusions is labeled a creep or charged with sexual harassment. Or mess with a good friendship.